Hello guys, and welcome back to another video. This video is about my favorite Yuri manga in particular. First time I am talking about manga on this channel. Now, with Yuri, there are a couple things that I kind of do need to go over before I really get into it. There are people who really love Yuri manga, and there's just a specialization for people who focus on that. People who do, honestly, they're kind of crazy for it. There's some overwhelming problems with the genre of Yuri and yaoi itself that are kind of big for me, and they could turn me off from certain things. One of them is that some of them are honestly very plain, just high school romances with less conflicts that I just really don't care for. And probably the much worse one, sexual assault. Yeah, sexual assault fantasy stuff is kind of big within these genres, and I really don't like them. People do. It's weird. I'm sorry. Fight me on it. But this series in particular avoids having those problems and is just a really good series even without, that Yuri title attached to it. Now, to actually get into the series itself, it has a huge sci-fi time travel plot, which is what makes it not just a plain high school romance. There is that sci-fi time travel element. With the romantic interest, the one who is pursuing Pure, she's from the future, and it kind of just acts as like, oh, okay, this sets up the romance element for the first 2 volumes, but this whole time travel-y sci-fi thing, besides also being hinted at through the first 2 volumes, is a huge major element within the 3rd and final volume, as it does dive into this sci-fi, and it is something that is fleshed out within the series. And also, the series just doesn't have that sexual assault problem. Just to get out of the way, it doesn't have these problems. The one who's least confident in this relationship and love, most uncertain, is the one who makes the big moves at the end of the day. It's really something I love about this. Like, the character who is most interested is very good at making sure the person that she's pursuing is very comfortable with everything, and even though she is very much stepping into these lines, she never goes too far and wants to make sure that this character is comfortable because it's a character that she actually loves. Now, it is a 3-volume series, nice, short, very sweet. First volume, it introduces the main character and couple. It's just mostly wholesome parts. Halfway through, you get some hints about some of the stuff that'll happen in the final volume, and some really good lines, honestly. And you get details to some more the dark, kind of eerie backstory of some of the characters. Second volume develops these conflicts more and gets more of this romantic conflict done and resolved, and then it pushes towards the more mystery sci-fi elements that have kind of been like somewhat just sorting under the radar, and then 3rd volume goes into those time travel elements. I will admit that some of it is convoluted. There is one character whose portion of it is more convoluted, as there are a lot of characters actually in this story than just the main 2 lovebirds. But you will mostly care about these 2 lovebirds, and their part of the time travel story is quite clear. So I honestly don't have much of a problem with some of this convolution. And if you are a proper lad physically picking up the volumes, because there is a physical release, it does explain it in the back of the 3rd volume, so you'll be good. And anyways, it's actually not that bad. I'm kind of just stupid at the end of the day, so some of that is my fault. Some of the other things I like, it is dark. This is a surprisingly dark story with the main character, Akira, who they set up as not interested in any form of romance, male, female, whatever, and sticks to otome games. I thought this would be something cheesy, slice of lifey in a way, of just like, oh yeah, I don't like romance. But there is dark reasoning of how her family has had romantic problems. It's dark and I don't want to spoil it, but it's something with her mother and father's relationship and how they relate to her, and it hits. It is a backstory that I feel, damn, that hurts, and it easily gives understanding to why she feels this way and makes us appreciate her getting broken out of the shell, finding love. Time travel is a huge additive to the story, not just for making it better than just a regular school rom-com at the end of the day. it is an element that helps sell the love that one of the main characters, Pure, has for Akira. It's something that really sells it. So the time travel, while just adding some extra spice to a romance story to, make it more action, make it more cool in that way, it does sell elements of the narrative itself, which I really do appreciate. Again, this series has very good conflicts. With Yuri, there are baked-in conflicts that you can go for, such as being gay in Japanese society. They aren't as progressive, and there are series that do this conflict well. This series doesn't go into it as much. If you want series that do go into it well, I will suggest to you right now, Throw Away Your Suit Together. But this series doesn't go into it, and it dives its conflict into this dramatic mystery sci-fi element that I have just avoided to really spoil for you because it's that good, and I suggest you just pick it up yourself. Now, this series is dark in its backstory. Third volume is the most darkest part, as some of these backstories for the characters are very dark, and it does go into things that are dark, such as sexual assault, but it doesn't do it in, I think, inappropriate ways that other series have. It's not for some weird fantasy thing. It is to enhance the narrative, and just it's aware of how that's a bad thing. It has made us a plot device to villainize a character, and as well, motives and actions just feel very natural, very real to life in this story, and it's stronger for it. Though it's dark, I don't love things that are just extremely dark, extremely nihilistic and depressing. This has a very cute happy ending. If you don't worry, it's not just depression Yuri. At the end of the day, you're not going to be crying of how terrible the events happening. It has a very cute ending. It's fun. I love it. I got teary-eyed. I really enjoyed it. And this series, it's just very well written with plenty of details into it being crafted. It is like many other sci-fi, they put attention into its lines. I remember the things specifically in the first volume, halfway through, where it is setting up this sci-fi. There's just lines with double meanings that are, I think, really good and are only in the official. I've read some scans of it where they kind of mess up the translation and it doesn't have such double meaning. It's more linear. I do suggest, again, to pick up physical, especially for that reason, that I think the translation is very well done within this physical version, and I would suggest you pick it up. It's only 3 volumes. They're really good. It is my favorite Yuri thus far. And that is it for me talking about Strawberry Fields once again. I really think it's a great series. You guys should pick it up, read it. I highly enjoyed it. Anyways, thank you for watching the video. Hope you liked and enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.